Okay, here's a look at the E-mini S&P for Friday, July the 30th, 2010. When we left the video yesterday, I'd mentioned that the 1093 area is something to monitor, and if the market can hold below there, that's going to be a negative development. Well, there's 1093, and as you can see yesterday, it did dip down below it, and then it came back up and it closed here. But you can see that in the overnight trade, it started to go down, and then late in the overnight trade, which was 8:30 Eastern when the GDP news was released, that the market came down even more. So the next level down was in the 85.50. The market actually went down, hit 83.50, and bottomed there, and then opened here around, it was about 86 or so on the open. It did immediately shoot back up to 93, only stayed down here for about 30 minutes, and then went back above it, and came back down, tested just slightly below it one more time, and then had a nice rally to finish the day. So it looks like we're still in the up mode here in this market. Up mode meaning the intraday auction is still up. By the way, these are market profiles. I should have mentioned that to begin with, but at E-mini Day Trader, we do like to take a look at the market profiles because we feel it really does enhance our ability to get a better handle on what the market is doing. So this is today's market profile, and this one was yesterday. The one in the middle here is what occurred overnight. Now, the next level up is the around about 1104, 1105 resistance area, and then the next one after that would probably take us up to around 1110 to 11, and then the next one 13. So still monitoring the 1093 area. If it can hold above that, then we're probably going to be in shape for a bit of a rally. Although next week, the very important employment numbers are out at the end of the week, so might be still a bit of a give and take seesaw battle next week up until then. But with the failure of the bulls to hold it down here this week, appears to me that we're probably back into the up mode here as we have been, and not back into it. We've actually remained in it, but could be in a more pronounced manner. Of course, always contingent on what those numbers are next week. But in the meantime, it looks like the market wants to be heading higher, and that's what we're going to do here to have a preference to trade on the long side. Ideal trade location remains around 1093, and after that about 1085. So some of the prices that we're looking at going into next week. We also like to take a look at the market profiles for the regular trading hours only, and that's what you're looking at here. Now here's our software, and as you can see, we've got arrows that point up for our long trades and arrows that point down for our short trades. So we had it was 6 trades today. Here's our first one right here. It worked out nicely, had a bounce right away, and then pulled back. Just break even on that trade, but this trade worked out very nicely as the market had a big run up after that. This trade here, as you can see, the entry is on this dashed line, and unfortunately we're trying to get in. The ideal time is within about 15 minutes after it's triggered. In this case, it would have been ideal to get filled when it did dip down right here, and then again a few minutes later right there. But unfortunately, we didn't get the fill there. We got the fill a little bit later, and we ended up by getting stopped out on it. So that was the so 1, 2. That was the third trade. Our fourth trade was right here, which was a short. The market did quickly come down and reach our first and second objective. So nice little profit on that one. Here's one of our other trades where a similar kind of thing happened in that the market did go sideways, or I'm sorry, it didn't go sideways. What happened was after we were triggered into this trade set up right here, we didn't get filled till much later, and these become precarious, especially when most of the day has been green, a little bit of neutral here. When this was triggered, it was just turning back to green just at that time when this particular trade was actually executed. So ended up with a break even on that. This last trade here, so that was the fifth trade today. The last trade we had here today, this one here, just dipped down to our price nicely and then immediately bounced to 0.75. So nice profit on that one. And this trade here was not taken. It was right at the top of the hour, which is too late for us to trade. So not a bad day of trading. We did get some good profits in there, but more or less break even. But it was really nice to see the market come down and test that key area in around 85. Have a good time experimenting with that 93. You can see, this is what I mentioned earlier, that extra little dip back down into it that got rejected and then had a nice rally higher. And then also right back up to the other resistance area just above 04 right in here. So those are the key levels that we're working with, and uh, the market's action traded between those reference areas very nicely. So any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to get a hold of us at info@eminidaytrader.com. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.